Classes are beginning, and the first thing you should know is that not all online classes are organized in the same way. So each one is unique. Teachers have a choice how they give assignments, how they grade, their expectations for the week for each student. So if you are not familiar with online education, you really should work with a tutor or a mentor or someone who can guide you through so you get off to a great start. I will try a little bit right now, and I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Here we are, the course home. We just got on the course. It's going to, in the moment it starts, you should always click on announcements. Announcements are my way of connecting to you weekly. Sometimes I post more than one announcement, so that's a good thing to do. Look at announcements and then click on modules right over here. I thought I could move my camera around, but it's not letting me, so I'm just going to talk you through. Once you click on modules, you're going to scroll down. You're going to see where it says virtual text, and then handouts, and then presentations, and those are all for you. Review them as needed throughout the semester. It's all good, right? And then you're going to get down to modules. And by looking at your syllabus, you will be able to see what module we're in. We follow the order. So week 1 would be module 1. But if you're confused by that at all, then look at your syllabus for the calendar. It's called the simple syllabus, and it has a lot of information, so it doesn't seem so simple. But once you find the calendar, and the tentative course calendar is in there, I have it right here. I always print out the syllabus, not the book, but the syllabus I do. And then where it says tentative course calendar, you will get the dates and you'll be able to match it up. So for week 1, we have our dates and we say what's going to happen, and you go right down the semester like that. And it really is in order, and there is a pattern to this class and a rhythm that I think you're going to find really comforting because it doesn't vary. Every week, there's 1 or 2 discussion boards every single week. And then starting in week 1, we have our first voice thread, the self-introduction. And then it's week 3, we have our first full-length video, the news presentation, which is graded. The self-introduction is not graded. And then we go all the odd weeks. So we start with week 1, we have a video. Week 3, we have a video. Week 5, we have a video. Week 7, we have a video. Week 9, and then week 11. So there are 5 graded videos. And after every graded video, you will see there is a journal. And I will explain that assignment as we get closer to it. So you'll see that it absolutely follows the pattern. So when you have the odd numbers for the voice threads, you have the even numbers for the journal. So the journals start on week 4, week 6, week 8, week 10, and week 12. So it's a pattern. It's really predictable. The constants are the discussion boards. And then as far as the textbook is concerned, that is always there for you. And that's an assistant. In the announcements, I will say, I suggest this week you read chapters 1 and 2 and 14. It sounds odd, but 14 is on online public speaking, so I think you should read it. This book is designed for an asynchronous class. It is not like a book you would buy. It doesn't have illustrations, and it's not long. It's a page to 2 pages long each chapter, so it's a good review. I give you content for each assignment. I produce a little video, and I have a handout. Then you read the book, and then you kind of get your head together. And what you're going to see soon on is that oral communication and written communication are cut from the same cloth. It's just different channels. That's all it is. So once you see that, even if you've never taken a public speaking class before, you have taken a class in written communication. And this is going to sound very familiar, but instead of writing your essays, if you will, you are going to be presenting, and you'll be able to use your voice, your energy, your pacing, your diction, any visual aids you want. So there's a lot more freedom to an oral presentation than a written presentation. So you've had experience with this before, you just don't know it. So make sure you connect to the weekly modules. I have my notes again. You don't usually show your audience your notes. I'm just showing you this to show you my system, because it should be your system to always have notes. So you work through, I talked about the voice threads and the journals, the pattern. You should always know where your grades are from, and that is clearly on the syllabus. What is graded? You look at your time you have. I've taken online classes, and sometimes I'm spending a lot of time, which is valuable, on an area of the course that I'm not going to get graded on. So maybe if I'm looking to like triage my time, I want to spend more time on where the grades are coming from. On our syllabus, it says that the discussion boards, the total of them, 10%. Attendance, the total is 10%. The presentations each are 10% or 50%. The journals are 20%, so I really want you to focus on those journals. And then the final exam is 10%. So when you see that, you say, okay, so this is where my time should be, on the discussion boards, on the videos, and on the journals. Well, what about that textbook? What's that all about? The only time you'll be asked anything about the textbook is in the final exam. The final exam is very subjective, and it's based on our whole course. And there's 4 areas for you to review. The first one I'm going to ask you is to look at all the discussion boards, all the videos we watched weekly, and find 1 or 2 that you particularly connected to. What was it about that you liked? What did you learn about that? And give me like 2 or 3 paragraph review. The second part are the journals of all the audience members that you listen to, all the speakers you listen to. You're the audience, they're the speakers, but of all our classmates, pick 1 or 2 that you particularly saw growth in, or you liked them, or you could appreciate them. And we're going to be writing about that in our journals. And the journals are private. Your peer never sees what you write. It's really for you to develop your own thinking, your critical thinking. The more I critique someone, always for the good, the better I am as a speaker. So it's for you to see things through my eyes. All right, so that's the third part. The fourth part of the final exam is you're going to read 1 chapter that you are going to do a review for from the textbook. So it could be chapter 1, could be chapter 14. There's a chapter just on informative speeches. There's a chapter on nonverbal. There's a chapter on persuasion. When you look at the table of contents in the text, it is going to look a little bit like our English text, right? A little bit, but they talk about nonverbal. So that's a little bit different, right? And they're short. I think you might enjoy them a lot, but you're going to pick 1 chapter and do a chapter review. So the final exam has 4 parts: discussion board review, journal review, self-reflection. Did I mention that? You're going to self-reflect on yourself, your own evaluation of you, and then the textbook. So even though in the grades it doesn't say textbook, the textbook is like our best friend. It's on the side. I have my little videos, instructors videos for you to watch. You're going to be watching the discussion boards and learning from those prompts, right? And when you do a discussion board for me, I put down prompts for your response, but you don't have to answer every one of those. Those are just suggestions. If you watch one of the videos and you have something come to mind that I don't write down, but if you were in a class, you would be saying, this is my response, then you say that. Those prompts are just suggestions for you to start to think, well, okay, I'll talk about this because she mentioned it, and I'm not expecting you to answer all of those questions, but you're going to learn from those, and you're going to learn from each other too. So that's a learning source, and the book is a supplement to all of that. A supplement to me, a supplement to the discussion boards, a supplement to doing the journals. So it's another layer. This is public speaking, freshman level immersion. So it's coming at you at all angles, and you're in control of it. You really are. This class is designed that you get all the coursework done on your own time. The first week, there's only like 5 days, right? But the second week is all 7 days. And so you have that whole week to get all that work done. Going through the modules, doing the discussion boards, developing your presentations, putting them on VoiceThread, the following week doing the journal, getting ready for the next speech. That rhythm just keeps going. But you're in charge of it. You could do it on a Monday morning. You could do it on a Tuesday night. It's whenever. But it all needs to be done in that week. It's very important because as much as that work you're doing is very independent, we are an interdependent online community and we need each other. I can't do my journal until you do your video, right? And I can't do my discussion board until you do yours. I can do my discussion board, but it's not a discussion until there's more than one person, right? To give feedback, etc. And you get a whole scope of ideas. So this really is a class that the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. Some students end up reading the entire book. They say, wow, that book was easy. It was help supported what we were doing. I liked that particular author, Maggie Maps, I think she is. She's incredibly smart. And the book has been out since, I think, 2019 and has a lot of good reviews. And she's from the University of Kansas. So it's not New England, it's another voice, but it's one that I agree with and matches our student learning outcomes. So let's see what else I have. I talked about the final exam. I talked about the self-evaluation a little bit on the final exam. But again, that's in the future. I will be telling you more about that. It opens on May 5th, the final exam, and closes on May 14th. So you have a lot of time, and you can do it in two ways. You can do an oral presentation, or you can do a written presentation for your final exam. So that's it. That's the course. You just dive in and keep an open mind, open heart. Be willing to do it. Just say, okay, and you might be the best speaker ever. Maybe that's one of your strengths is your public speaking skills. So you're thinking, what am I going to learn here? I already know I could teach the class. Great. Take the class, because every time I present this class, I take the class as well, and I find that it reminds me of good practices. But if you're a person who has avoided public speaking all your life, well, this is your shot, because you are a public speaker. This is your shot to practice. This is your shot to appreciate yourself. This is your shot to think truly inwardly. Who am I? What do I care about? What are my opinions? What am I thinking? That's valuable. That's really valuable. It's really a humanities class. They call it communication, and it is, but it's about being a person. So I'm just thrilled to be here. I feel privileged to have you here. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. If you have any snags with the technology, call our technology, our Bristol Online. There's on the syllabus, you will see a phone number and you'll see an email address, and just write to them. They will not get back to you on the weekend. They'll only get back to you Monday through Friday, but they will get back to you. And if you need to take a visit, each campus from Attleboro, Taunton, New Bedford, and Fall River have people up there in technology to show you exactly. And the more you know about technology, the more you increase your success rate. Because if you're taking online, that's the last thing you want to do, is to be fighting with the technology. That shouldn't be. The content should be leading your way. I think I said enough. This is, again, go to the announcements, go to the modules, look at the calendar, see what week we're on. We follow week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and we have a spring break. It's right in the middle. I think it's around week 8 or so, or maybe week 7. I don't know. I don't listen to me. Sometimes I say things like, blah. I just did a self-introduction, and I was saying the power of introverts. Well, you'll see it in week 3. And I look at my own syllabus. I said, no, that's going to be in week 2. So you can see I don't even read my own stuff, or I don't memorize it, but I know it in my heart, and I know that you know it too. So just keep that syllabus around for you to know your deadlines. Write it down in your daily planner, or whatever you use to organize yourself. And each person is different. Some of you are morning people, some of you are afternoon people, some of you are evening people, but get your work in. And if you keep a steady pace, this class is very manageable and fun. I've had so many students say that they just enjoyed it. They got used to doing their own presentations, even though, like I said in the self-introduction, it was a little weird. Here I am talking to a video camera on my phone. There's no feedback, but you will have feedback. I said that I was a ambivert, A-M-B-I-V-E-R-T. That's a combination of extrovert and introvert. When I'm in the classroom, I am on fire. I love the energy from everyone, and it's so engaging. But when I sit down to watch your VoiceThread videos, I'm on fire as well. I get so excited about watching you, and I am watching you, and I will listen. And many times, student speeches, I always watch at least twice, sometimes 3 times, so I can, know what to say. And that's a great luxury to me, because in the classroom, I just see it once, right? So when I give feedback, it's based on that one time. In a video, I can watch it another time and really looking at your strengths, like where are you, where you're at, what a good message, you good opportunity for working on eye contact with a video camera. Now, if you have notes like I do and you put your notes on the side, you might find yourself looking at your notes a lot and not at the video camera. For our class and our class only, because we're practicing, that's fine with me. I'm not expecting you to have a teleprompter or have you right in front of you so you don't have to look away. But if you're ever doing a presentation for a job interview or maybe for a college application or anything professional, make sure you have your notes clearly in front of you so you can look at your notes and the video camera at the same time, because eye contact is really important. I do not maintain good eye contact on the video camera. I know I don't. I never know where to look. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling you. I'm in the same boat as you. This is no one is perfect here, and you're not expected to be. But it's effort and it's consistency. Not running away from this class or thinking, oh, there's nothing in it for me. The TED Talk videos, which most of them are TED Talks, are pretty easy. They're never more than like 20 minutes. And again, if you don't have anything to say, look at my prompts, see what your response could be. You might be surprised you have more to say than you think. And then it's really great to listen to everyone else. We get to know each other, And I've had students who've developed friendships from this class, from public speaking, and then they meet on the outside. They don't just have virtual lives together. Yeah, or they're on Facebook together, or they do something like that so they can connect. It can be a very lonely world sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. We're all so busy, but if we have time for each other, then we're living a good life. So, Joyce Fernandez, if you need to get in touch with me, please email me at the Bristol Community College email address, and I will get back to you. And, not maybe that day. I try, but not always. Sometimes I don't see your video until later in the day, or you put it on at 10 o'clock and I'm not on. You can do that, but I'm not seeing it. So when I do see it, I get right back as quickly as I can, because I respect and honor you. And I want you to know that you're not alone, because I'm right here, and so is the entire class. Take care, everyone. Enjoy this experience. I hope you enjoy your other classes too. But what I said some time ago, that not all online classes are organized in the same way or have the same set of expectations or due dates. So whatever class you're taking, look at your syllabus, look at due dates, look to see where your grade is coming from, where you should put your attention. Everything is valuable. But when it comes to students and making the most of your semester, you want to make sure you're putting your work into what's going to give you a good outcome at the end, which is a great passing grade and the experience. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.